Hello. How's it going? You might be wondering, hey. Shoot, oh no, why can I hear myself again? Gosh. Second time. They say first time for everything, but apparently there's a second time for everything too. Cool. Very good job, me. Anyway, you might be wondering, why the heck did I start stream and then wait 6 minutes to actually start it? And the reason I did that is because I clicked start stream, practiced saying a few words, and then I realized, oh shoot, I sound horrible because I need water. So I ran downstairs, got some water, and water ASMR. Oh shoot, that's peaking. Uh-oh, chat. Alright, yeah, I needed some water. So I went and got some water. That's what it's all about. So you might be wondering, hey, why is the stream called complete failure? And that's because if you remember what I did last time, I made a little grabber thingy, right? Oh, that's so much better. Okay. Made a little grabber thingy, right? And then, sorry, unprofessional streamer here. But I made the grabber thingy, right? And then it, we'll say, failed in pretty much all aspects of what makes being a grabber good. The first issue, also, you hear like construction noise outside. That's because the shop that lives downstairs decided that today would be a great day to like tear down the awning, like metal awning, and replace it with a new one or something. So the entire debacle is happening right now. Anyway, I can turn off studio mode in OBS now. That's better. Anyway, hi. There we go, look at that. I can write. Oh, water is so yummy. All right, we're gonna pop into here. And I'm simply just gonna show you what went wrong first. Okay. So first of all, the orientation in which all of this is printed in, not the best. So it sits on this face and prints that way. I should have had it sit on this face and printed it this way going up, because then at least this wouldn't need support. But I did it the wrong way, and then also this hole filled in with support. Most of my issues that arise, well, half of the issues that arise were purely because I chose bad printing orientation. So this hole got completely filled up with support material. So I couldn't actually test this. But then it didn't matter anyway, because there's, wait, did I actually not add clearance there? I thought I did. Oh, see, there's a little bit of clearance there. This clearance is nowhere near enough. This clearance, it basically is just a snug fit. It's like, okay, great. So it clicks in and it doesn't rotate freely at all. Even without even a screw in it. It just rotates. So that needs to be fixed too. Okay, next up, the rubber band. This entire thing is not long enough, and it's also way too, it uses this part as a cantilever. So, like, complete failure is a bit of an exaggeration, but I think it's safe to say that it is essentially unusable. It's not something that's unfixable. I'm going to do a version 3 of this thing, because version 2 I went in with designing Grabber 2 with the intentions to fix the flaws of Grabber 1 while also providing me space to design like the other mechanisms I needed. Now I have Grabber 2. I know exactly what mechanisms I need, and now I have Grabber 2. I know exactly what mechanisms I need and how to implement them, but the method I implemented them in here is bad. So I'm gonna do a Grabber version 3. And in version 3, it will hopefully, see, this is the whole idea of rapid prototyping. Instead of just taking version 1 and perfecting it, I'm just gonna take version 1, then make a version 2, then make a version 3, and I'm just gonna keep making bad ones until finally it works. And it maybe is faster, maybe it might be slower, I don't know. Oh, do I have so many stories to tell you? Because I started my kindergarten stuff teaching earlier. So also I forgot to add support here, so that entire thing turned into spaghetti. Which, you know, is not conclusive to testing it. But also there was a lot of friction when I tried pressing it down, partially because the entire rubber band side, I think, well, the rubber band is force up in, I wish I had a way to like, wait, I can just do this. Wait, can I just do like this? Okay, and then I click this. Where'd it go? There it is. And then can I full screen this? Wait, why does it see my stream stuff? Okay, oh, no. There we go, problem solved. Not there anymore, obviously. Okay. Yeah, I'll do story time in a little bit. Anyway, this is where our force down is applied via the, whatchamacallit? You know, the thingy-mabobber. Look at the linear rail. I am extremely intelligent. And, well, no, the force is not applied via the linear rail, but it's applied at pretty much exactly this point, right? And then there's a large amount of friction and a force from the rubber band here, you know, pushing this assembly. This force is on this assembly, and then it causes it to have torque in this direction. Show the assembly? Do you mean like in real life, or do you want like the Fusion 360 one? Because this is the Fusion 360 one. The real life one is in the thumbnail. I can show it to you. Also, there's some really weird issues with the rubber band popping out of where the screw is, which is strange because like it should be like tight, but it's not. So that's another thing to look at. But anyway, okay, I'll do the camera thingy once I figure this out. Is that backwards? Yeah, it's upside down. There we go. Yeah, I think there's some friction from the rubber band. Oh, the full doodad? I mean, I've got this. This is the closest thing I got. I haven't actually imported, or I haven't put the grabber into this yet. And then I've also had the bins hidden. I think that's a new bin. But I also need to redesign the bins for reasons. Well, no, it's because I'm redoing the way I'm picking up the cards. But anyway, the third, no, not third, but a large issue that is additional is that this length, let me go back to my paint. This length is exactly this length, right? And you know, that's not good because I need a little bit of extra vertical real estate to be able to do the clicky pen mechanism that we were talking about yesterday. Now, it's not exactly a clicky pen, it's more like a cam latch. I don't know how to explain it, it's complicated. But anyway, yeah, so there's some issues with the rubber band channel. There's issues with the clearance for the little arm. I think the little arm is fine. The badge holder is perfect. The badge holder works very well. Nothing I would change there. I haven't tested the belt thing, but I can't imagine the belt thing not working, so I'll just leave the belt thing because it's probably fine. Badge holder, yeah, badge holder needs no notes. Very good. I'm unable to test like the attachment to the belt because, not the belt, the what's it called? I'm unable to test the attachment to the linear rail because I forgot the supports in that area, so now it's just some spaghetti. So yeah, but I can't imagine it being like weird. It's just, you know, just a belt. Oh, places where it did go well, the hexagon was perfect, so I didn't have to do anything special to get the suction cup like lined up or like screwed in. It just sat there. Oh yeah, I need to test. Okay, but yeah, that's that. So I think now we need to go and look at improving grabber in a version 3. This time, hexagons are the bestagons, you're right. This time, we are going to design it around everything all at once. Now that we know everything we need, we can design it around everything that we need, right? So let's do that. Let me drink some more water. I haven't drank enough water in the last forever. Okay, here's story time number 1. Numero uno. Yesterday. It all starts with yesterday. Yesterday, I woke up and went to work, right? And that's teaching kids. Now, Wednesdays are special because I spend the entire day teaching the kids on Wednesdays. I spend the morning, then I go get lunch, and then I go and spend the afternoon. So I figured, hey, I might be hungry, like if I'd eat a pretty light lunch. So I ate a real big lunch, which was a mistake because after you eat a real big lunch, you know, I could not eat dinner. I did not want to eat dinner, rather. I was very, very full. And so I didn't eat dinner. That's where that story ends of Wednesday. But then it moves on to today, which is Thursday. Today is even more special. I had to leave early so that I could what? What could I do? I could teach more kids more English. That's right. There was a second class of elementary school students. Sorry, I've got a 1 second. Yeah, a second class of elementary school students, and these are older students, so they're a good bit easier to deal with, I'd say. But I had to teach them, I had to read them a book. I don't know why they couldn't have someone else read them a book, but they had me read them a book, and so I read them the book. But to read them the book, sorry, this is a really weird way of phrasing that sentence, but to read them the book, I had to leave my house at about 6:45 a.m. That's right. I actually got really lucky there. Normally I set my alarm for 5, right? 5:30. That's just normal, right? And so I was like, oh, okay, this will be fine, because I always wake up at this time, and so it's nothing different than if I just, like, you know, just leave a little bit earlier, because usually I'll leave at 7:30, 7:45, and I'll just be like, yeah, that's fine, and then I have 2 hours to do whatever. But this time I had to leave an hour earlier. So what happens then? Actually, wait, maybe I should get the exact dimensions of the Pokemon card. It's actually 63. 63 by, I think, 88. Yeah, that looks like 88 to me. Okay. So where was I? Oh, right, leaving at 6:30. So I left at 6:30 in my apartment. I got really lucky, actually, because I had my alarm go off. I woke up, I turned it off, right? And then, never guess what happened. I fell asleep again. Wow. It's like that thing that happens sometimes. And then I woke up again, and I'm like, oh, it's 6:20. Got lucky there. And I was able to get out of bed. Oh yeah, another issue that I had in the other grabber was that I used a diagonal, which then makes the math, you know, not, it makes the math floating point compared to integer math, which means that my everything was just messed up, because I did a floating point math into a center rectangle, which means center rectangle, the entire thing is floating point. And so then it becomes like, okay, now I have faces that don't line up with other faces, even though they're technically, like, they should line up, but they're technically not, because one's floating point, one of them's integer or whatever. Now, of course, I don't know if it's actually integer. I'm just saying that as a computer science student, this is what I think happens in the software. But so this time I'm gonna use just straight lines and midpoints instead of just diagonals. Anyway, our bin size, let me just measure the one I have in real life. It is 75, I think. Yeah, 75 looks about by a hundo. A hundo? Yeah, one hundo. One hundo by... Oh, maybe it's less than 70. No, I think that's exactly 75. Let me grab a card so I can use that against my ruler. Oh, maybe it's 76. Cool. Wait, hold on. What number would I pick? It's 65, and then if I give myself an extra centimeter, it would be 75. So maybe it's 70. Yeah, it's 75. Okay. Because the other direction is 90, and I give myself an extra centimeter, that would be 100. Water ASMR. Okay. So if our entire thingy is 100, we need to have at least a little bit of a side barrier to hold the cards in. But the question of the day becomes, is that side barrier... I think here, let me draw it out. Wait, let me find my Microsoft Paint. There it is. Okay. Okay. Here's how I think it will work. We have our bins, right? And they sit right next to each other. And so they look like something like this, right? Wow. So those are bins, right? I'm thinking, what if my bins... I was originally gonna have the bins surround the cards on all sides, because that makes sense, right? But then, like, I thought about it a little bit. And I realized that if I take the grabber and I let the grabber surround the card on all sides, then it makes it more, how do you say this? It makes it more exact, and it also makes it less likely to be damaged by rubbing off the side of the walls of the bins, right? Because it will be moving pretty quickly against those bins all the time. Against the grabber, it's only moving like if it has to be like adjusted to go into the grabber, it's only moving like 1 or 2 millimeters, and that's not that bad, right? So I realized that maybe it would be better if new. Okay. I realized that maybe it would be better if I take the card, instead of like holding it in the bins on all sides, I basically hold it in like this, a little bar on each side, right? And then on the grabber, I can have the outer corners be, you know, big. The outer corners can be pretty big. So like the outer corner, I will just draw one wall, for example, but it will look like this, right? So the outer corner can look like this, and this is where the card lies. And then there can be a slot, and then like, let's say this wall fits something like this, right? So the grabber can actually be slightly bigger than the bin. Now, I'm not going to make it be slightly bigger than the bin, because then it has issues with like the bins being next to each other in the trays, right? So, but I think ideally our bin will be roughly the same size as the actual grabber. And then like the bin itself, and then this is where I got the really interesting idea. It's like, what if I made the bin like snug with the cards, right? And then like the bin can grip onto the cards, and then the grabber like makes the bin like loose a little bit, like loosens the bin's grip on the card, so that it can then pick up the card without like, and then like the card is always perfectly centered without actually having to worry about it, right? Like what if I did that, right? That sounds interesting. I think this is something that I need to consider, maybe for the next version of the card sorting robot, because like it would make it harder to put the cards in, right? But then it also just makes it so much more consistent every single time you move a card via the robot. The biggest issue there is just like, you know, like the human aspect of it, like the human putting the cards in. They'll have to like, maybe I design a loader bin, like a bin that you put the cards in, that you can use to put the stack of cards into the bin on the machine, and then you like take out the loader bin or something. That's always something I could do. Or maybe just like a little bar that like spreads the little fins or whatever. But yeah, so that's something I need to consider, because then if it's snug, it will always also be straight and it won't ever wobble, it won't rattle. If it like gets bumped, it doesn't like affect anything. I don't know, it seems like a pretty good idea, so I might look at that. Now, the biggest problem with that idea is that the camera bin has to be surrounded, right? The camera bin has to have walls on all sides, and that's where the biggest issue I think with the entire this idea stems, is that the camera bin needs to have the walls all over so that it blocks the light from the outside, so that the pictures can be consistent, right? So then how do you do that? And that's where I am right now. How do I do that? Wait, I could just use cardstock. I can just have the fins, right? And then you can just put cardstock on the sides. Okay, we figured it out, chat. Good work. Good work, me. Good work. I'm kidding, of course. I'm not sure cardstock is a solution there. Is it a solution? Yeah, maybe. Is it the solution? I don't think so. But it's something to consider. So I think right now, at the very least, I'm going to go back to my previous plan, which is to have the bins being slightly larger than the cards. And if I feel that this solution is not good later down the line, then I will redesign the bins and the grabber so that it is snug. And then we'll see, we can compare between the two and see if it's more consistent. The only thing I care about here is consistency. And if it's more consistent being snug, then I think that is the play to go with. That's the route. So we'll look at that, yeah. So let's see. Okay, let's Oop, nope. Can I alt tab into? Okay, wow, I figured it out. Okay, we need a center rectangle starting from here. Now, how big is a bin? You know what? We're just gonna say 100 by 75, and then we can figure out how large do we want the walls of our bin to be, which could be any size, right? How far off do we want the Can I get my okay? So let's also get a 90 by what is the number? 65. That's 1 millimeter off of every card. I don't know what I'm doing. Center rectangles. Okay, this is the tolerance that I started with. It can hold the card in place. I think this is a good tolerance for the bins that don't have the walls, because you can slide them in and out very easily. But for the camera bin, if I plan to have cards that go into the camera bin and not just use the camera bin as a swap space, then this would be a good bit more tricky. I think this is a good starting point for the bins themselves, and so I think this will be what the like walls end up being, or like what the walls end up like using. That's what I mean. So, where was I? Let's see. So that means we have all of this extra space for the grabber part and for the wall. Well, wait, hold on. Okay, so let's imagine something real quick. Let's get back our center rectangle. And let's say we use for our bins 20 or like 100 by 20. right? That can be like the middle of our bin. We do that again. 20 by 100. No, 65. No, 75. There we go. I can do mathematics. Look at this. This is the most parametric a single sketch on this channel has ever been. Curious. Okay. Actually, is it even parametric if it's all typed in values manually? Curious, because it's not referencing anything. It's just numbers I type in. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. But anyway, at least I'm not like clicking something. Anyway, where was I? So these 4 thingies can be the sides of a normal bin, basically. So I think that's where we start. Then we need, how thick do we, this is properly dimensioned? Wow, for the first time ever. Incredible. Okay, then we need here, watch this. Oh, this is new, chat. This is new for the first time ever on the channel, offset tool. We can have a 2mm wall, I think. I think 2mm is good. What if I did 1mm? I feel like 1mm is just like not good at all. I think maybe we could get away with 1.5. We're gonna go with 2. So that's for the camera bin, meaning that in this space we have, how far apart are these? These are 4mm apart, and 4mm we have our little angle that'll help guide the card into the middle of the grabber. So keep that in mind as we extrude. I'm gonna call this good. This is the H. We're just doing, actually this is the bottom of the H. No, wait. What am I thinking? Okay, we are gonna grab these. I'm not gonna add any sort of, what is the term? There's not gonna be any clearance implemented yet. I will do that at the end. Now, do I grab this or do I not grab that? I guess I grab it, because we're gonna be going on the outside of the card a little bit, and that's okay. So let's extrude this maybe 5. Now, something I need to think about is, do I actually want it to be an H, or do I, you know what, actually there's something I need to change about the sketch. Do I actually want it to be an H, or do I want it to be like a alright, I want this to be at 135, and I want it to be coincident to that. Wow, look at that. And then I can mirror this along this line. Great. And then I don't have a vertical line actually. So let's get a vertical line. Okay. Then I want to go and, you know what, before we do the mirroring, let's draw our vertical line. There we go. And then we're also going to add the same exact line to here. This is not for aesthetics, but it is purely for printability. Because if we have the 45-degree angle here, we can print it vertically without having to need supports. So now we can mirror both of these along, let's say, this line. That'll flip them both. Yeah. Okay, what if we mirrored them also along this line? Okay, you can't do that. But yeah, okay. And then we will mirror them again along the other line. Mirror this line. There we go. That should cover all of it. Okay. Wow, check that out. Oh my. Good. There's no light blue lines. Excellent. Nice work, me. Click the finish sketch. Something I discovered a little bit a while ago is that there's actually like CAD speed runs. I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. I don't think I'm fast enough to do a CAD speed run though. I think I'm pretty slow at this stuff. Well, I mean, maybe not slow. It's just I'm not experienced with reading the diagrams, you know what I mean? Your coworker does the speed runs? That's awesome. That's actually really funny. All right, 5 millimeters. I don't think I'm good at reading the documents. Yeah. So, I mean, I learned how to read them in my architecture and engineering class. You need to be very, very good to be competitive. Yeah, I was watching it. I was like, I think I'd probably do it the same way, but like 4 times slower. I think I need I need the time that they take to actually finish the entire thing just to read the document. Yeah, the shortcuts can go crazy, right? I mean, like, you'll see people use tools in ways that you've like never thought of before, and you're like, oh snap, right? And then it's like, okay. Okay, I'll leave you to it, but all right, let's add the little guys. What is a little guy? I don't know what a little guy is. It's this is a little guy. All right, do we add further little guy? I think we add further little guy actually. Yeah, let's do a little bit more for little guy. So we can put it in exactly the middle. All right, here, we're gonna move this down 4 millimeters because remember it was 4 millimeters. And let's say move it down to 5. No, we move it down 4. Click the join button. We can hide our sketch again. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Then check this out. We click this button. We grab this, and then we move it in 4. Wow. It did exactly what I wanted it to. Good job, Fusion 360. But anyway, this will basically hug the card to being in perfectly the middle. Wait, I did this too early. I done goofed again. Goofed yet again. We click the cancel button, then we click Z, and then we edit our sketch yet again to get, oh my. Oh, okay, that's not an actual error, that's a fake error. So basically we want 5 millimeters off of this. So let's get ourselves, oh, I just got a great idea. We're gonna do this, check this out. We're gonna do this the better way. I'm learning. I mean, it's not that I'm learning, it's just that I am choosing it to do it the good way instead of the bad way as I had done it in the past. So we're simply just gonna get, should I get a line from the outside? I guess from the outside. It doesn't really matter where I put it because check this out. I click the D button and then this is the inside of the card, right? And so from the inside of the, what? Why is it? Okay, D, I want distance from, no, huh? What? Can I not? D, can I get this and this? Okay, there we go. I want this to be 5. Why is it points? Oh, right, because I just clicked a random button. But it should be 7. Because it's snapped to the grid. Oh. Okay, maybe there is no such thing as floating point operations in this. Or maybe everything's a floating point operation. Maybe center rectangle is a floating point operation. Anyway, I want to type 5. And then I can go and click the mirror button. And then I can mirror this along this. Very good. Finish the sketch. Then I can extrude from the bottom. I want to get this, 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 and this. And then this, 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 this. All right, I'll see you, almonds. You gotta lock in. Yeah, you gotta lock in. Okay, I grab those, I think. We'll grab these, why not? Why not? And then we extrude this 4 millimeters. Oh, nope. We extrude this -4 millimeters. Like okie dokie, artichoke. Let's see here. All right. I just realized we need to extrude yet again. We need to hide our body. So I can grab specifically this, 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 and this. And these, I guess. And do I want these? No. We can show our body again. And then we can do... -9. Join. Click the OK button. Go back to this one. We actually want this to be -5. And then I'm going to add ourselves our chamfer here. You can click the 4 button and it should be perfect. Wow. This is incredible, chat. This is incredible. Look at that. Technology of the modern era. Wow. Let me double check that this is correct. Oh, I think I want 1 centimeter actually. 1 centimeter. Also, remember we need to make this smaller. We need to make the entire thing shorter because it was too tall in real life. That's why we do things quick and dirty, but sometimes quick and dirty also means like really, really silly and dumb mistakes exist because I just did it way too quick and dirty. And it is about, I don't know, maybe 20 millimeters. Okay, maybe 15 millimeters taller than I would like it to be. So I need to design this with vertical space as a limitation, as a valuable resource. That's what I'm looking for. So let's do that, I think. Boom. Wow. Wow. Okay. What next? I'm really tired, chat. Oh yeah, I never finished my story. Okay, so I had no dinner yesterday, right? And I woke up at 6:30 today, right? For work, right? And I didn't have time for have breakfast. I'm like, I'm hungry. I need to eat something. I didn't eat anything. What I did instead, I bought a bottle of Coca-Cola. And I'm like, hey, Coca-Cola has enough calories to count as a meal, right? So I bought a bottle of Coca-Cola. It's got enough caffeine to wake me up at, what, 6:30 a.m. It's got enough sugar to fuel me for the next few hours. And so I bought a bottle of Coca-Cola. I drank it on the subway. No, I did not drink it on the subway. I drank it on the walk to the subway, kept it in my bag on the subway. Then when I did my subway transfer, I'm allowed to drink it through a maybe 10-meter area. So when I was walking through that 10-meter area, I took it out of my bag, opened it, closed it, put it back, and then I tapped back into the subway system. And yeah, I drank my soda pop. Yummy. Speaking of soda pop, I watched K-pop Demon Hunters. Good movie, by the way. Good movie. I did like that one. And so I drank a soda. Now, drinking one soda a day is like, okay, that's pretty bad, right? But it's not like that bad. It's like pretty bad, but it's not that bad, right? One soda is like, okay, that's just a soda. Then I, finished the school thing. And then I was like, well, it's time for lunch. I don't know what to eat. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm really hungry, right? Because I didn't have breakfast. I didn't have dinner the night before. So what happened? I went, and then I planned to go to a restaurant near one of the subway stops, and then I was distracted, and I accidentally skipped that subway stop, because usually I ride the subway for like 50 minutes in that direction. And so I was just I just was distracted, and I missed the stop. I'm like, oh, shoot, okay. Then I'll go to this other place. Took the subway some distance longer. Remember, I'm also really tired because I woke up at 6:30, and the only thing I've eaten the entire day was a bottle of Coca-Cola. And so I was tired, right? And then I got to my second backup subway station. I was like, hey, is this the right subway station? I don't actually know. Check Google Maps. Finally realized it is the correct subway station. What am I making? I am remaking this, which I made to remake this. What this is a suction cup, like grabber mechanism for my card sorting robot. I can explain it right here. Boom, check this out. So, what is this? Let's say we have a stack of Pokemon cards, right? It looks like this. It does not look like that. I don't know why I drew it like that. A stack of Pokemon cards look like this, right? And I need to suction cup it, right? I need to pick it up. We'll say it like that. Like, that's a suction cup, okay? You have to use a little bit of imagination. But that's a suction cup. It goes up and down, right? The problem with doing it this way is that when you use the suction cup like that, you'll get like a clump of cards, and then the rest of the cards will be down here, and you'll just get like a clump of cards. There's like 5 cards in that stack because of, you know, there's a little bit of a suction between the cards. There's a little bit of Van der Waals forces or whatever, maybe, probably not, but they stick together because there's no air that goes in through there, right? So what you have to do is you have to bend the cards somewhere, and then the other cards will pop off, right? And so every other card sorting robot on the planet right now, basically what they do is they bend the cards at the top of the bin. So like, here's the bin, right? And then the cards are in here. That's horrible. Draw the cards like this. And then when it lifts it, it takes a stack of cards, bends it up here, and then these cards drop down back into the bin, right? And I'm like, well, that seems a bit dangerous, because now you have a risk of cards like falling this way accidentally, and now they might like be sitting like this, and then now you have a jam and you have to go and fix it, right? Now, obviously, is there a way that you can do it reliably? Yes, but it's hard to do, and I don't want to do that. And also, it might or might not be patented. I don't know, but I'm making mine open source, so I don't think it matters anyway. But then I was like, hey. And then another issue with this is that now you actually don't know, like, you don't have a way to probe where the card is. You can't like probe it. You have to use a time of flight sensor. So you usually have like ultrasonic sensor or something, and then you like know where the card is, right? But what I was thinking, I was like, hey, what if I actually moved the bender down with the suction cup? It looks like that, right? And this is a suction cup. It goes onto the stack. Now the suction cup's not actually, you know, on the card, and then that's the stack, right? So the suction cup has to move down. That's why it has 2 parts. There's this part and there's this part. And so the suction cup is attached to this part, and it has to go down beyond this. So, oop, that's snipping tools. I don't need this. Where's paint? Where's paint? There it is. So hold on, let me get this explanation done with. So basically, the suction cup can go down here, and then it can grab it. This is attached to this. No, I mean like this. I don't know why it drew it like that, but anyway, that's where the suction cup goes. And then you can use this motion of this moving up to like trigger a micro switch, and then you don't need the time of flight sensor. Okay, this is the frame right now. It's pretty bare, but it's also a pretty simple machine. So we pretty much just have like 4 parts that okay, so there's this part, which is the idler pulley for the horizontal rail mechanism. we have this part, which is the entire gantry assembly. It's only 2 parts that need to be printed, and then they're assembled in a very specific pattern. There's this, which is a card bin. That's where the cards go. This is the tray where the card bins sit, and then these are just aluminum extrusion pieces that are held together by a bunch of these. That's it. It's pretty simple. So there's a linear rail up here, and then there's a linear rail up here. It goes in here, like the linear rail attaches right here onto the gantry. Like, so the linear rail itself goes up and down. So that might be a bit strange and unconventional, is what we'll say. But that's the way I did it because it's easier. Is it easier? I don't know if it's actually easier, but it's finished now, so I don't have a reason to change it. Anyway, we need to work on Grabber version 3. See, this is Grabber version 1. It's very simple, right? That's because this one was entirely focused around the geometry of the grabber. Like, how am I gonna make it slide up and down? How am I gonna make it like attached to the linear rail? How am I gonna make it, you know, bend the card? This one worked pretty well at those 3 things, and you know, I'm not all the way done yet. So this one adds a new mechanism that I need to take pictures, which is a completely separate like discussion. I might have a clip that you can watch in the future of a past stream. I know, it's like going into the future to see the past, isn't that crazy? But anyway, this one has the belt attachment, end stop attachment point, etc., and then like these little adjusters. And then version 3 is gonna be a good bit better. Where am I from? I am from Seattle, but I am living in Taipei. Wow, what an incredible multicultural excursion. Anyway, where was I? You know what? I think I want to grab this edge. What happens if I do that? Nothing. Great. What happens if I grab this edge? No, that doesn't work. Cool. If I grab this edge? Nothing. Great. Okay. We figured it out. We don't actually need to do anything. I'm from Seattle. Seattle, Washington. Good place, by the way. Good place. So, card sorting robot. So there's a few issues with this one that I need to address. It's too tall. This distance from here to here is too far, and it is pretty much exactly this distance from here to here, and that's not good. So that needs to be fixed. I also need to fix the rubber band channel, because it rubs against this side, which adds a lot of friction, and then adds a lot of torque around where the linear linear rail goes, and then this bends, and then it's horrible. So that needs to be fixed. This is a belt holder. I mean, the badge holder works perfectly fine. Belt holder, I imagine, doesn't need to be changed, but like this is a really ugly like add-on that I need to fix, and then like I need to figure out this thing better. Like I should have bearings so that after like the thousands of cycles it doesn't rub the plastic directly onto the screws, right? Because that's a great way of destroying plastic. I mean, it's literally just like sandpaper. So yeah, let's see, where was I? Untitled. So we need to figure this out. How do I make this thing shorter? I've got a couple of ideas. I could... Now, here's a question of the day. Is the suction cup itself actually too tall for this? Where did I put my suction cup? Here it is. Like, what happens if the suction cup... Suction cup might actually itself be too tall, which is not good. That is not good. That is no bueno. All right, let me remove the suction cup from its assembly, so that I can see. Okay, the suction cup itself has a little bit of space, but then you have to have the vacuum channel, which then reduces the amount of space that you have by a sizable amount. So that's good. Does that mean I should move the entire everything else upwards a little bit? I can? Can I? I don't know if I actually have the vertical space to do that, so I might have to make my bins smaller, which is okay. Or I can make the entire thing taller. Another thing I can do, but that's expensive because then I have to spend money. I mean, I can just make the bins smaller for now. I mean, I had a way to design the bins so that they're better to be printable anyway. I was just gonna have it be like this, and then like there would be slots here, and then I can print out just like these, and then just, like have like little notches. The notch can be here too, and then just like slot it in. Then it can all print flat. And then I can also have this, I can print this like this, like where that's the layer lines, and so it's smoother for the entire movement to be, because that way, because if you print in that direction, there's not a lot of friction between the two surfaces. But if you print in a different direction, then there's a good bit more. So that's something that I need to keep in mind. So because the suction cup itself is a little bit tall, I might need to make the bins shorter, which is okay. Yeah, because like there's not much I can do, because let's see, let me think. What can I do about this? Let me grab a vacuum line and see how close of a bed. Where is it? I should have it just like sitting around. Where'd it go? Not this one. This one's too big. Chat. Oops. Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Anyway. Nope, that is definitely not it. Oh, here it is. I found it. Good work, me. Okay. Alright, how tight of a bend can I take this vacuum hose? It can bend maybe around a radius of, I'd say that's 1.5 centimeters. So that's great. Yeah, that's a radius. Okay. Meaning I have to add an extra 15 centimeters on top of the suction cup to make sure that it can actually like go all the way up. So let's see here. Oh wait, I can just measure this in real life. I have it on me in real life once again. Wow, okay. Cool. Let's do that then. Oh wait, let me grab the vacuum hose and just see what happens if I put it in, right? I mean, it may work. I'm just really working. Maybe this is a curious. Let's see. How do I solve this problem? This is not a problem I had thought about before, but now it's a problem that I have to think about. Well, I guess that means that I can't make the old one shorter. So the old dimensions are actually fine. The old vertical dimensions are fine. I just have to make the bins shorter. I wanted them to be a good around 100 millimeters because that feels like a good number. But I can make them be like 80 or something, I guess. And when I, make the actual machine taller, then I can make the bins taller too. I think that's okay. Right? That'll be fine. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Think further. I love how I made this hard for me, even though this project was supposed to be quick and easy and simple. Well, they say you can only have two of the thingies: quick, cheap, and easy. I'm trying to do it with all three. Maybe if I just was willing to spend a little bit more money on some longer aluminum extrusion pieces, then we would not have any problems at all. Wow. Truly the best solution to any problem is to spend more money. Yes, yes. You know what, maybe I will order some longer aluminum extrusions. How long is these? These are, I think, 220. I should get like 250, maybe. Or 300 even. No, 300 is too. Maybe 250. Maybe like 250 is fine, I think. Let me grab my old bin just to see what happens. This should be 1.5. Okay. Oh yeah, the old grabber was also far too small. Okay, so there is another option I have, which is redesign the gantry, which I really don't want to do. I can redesign the entire gantry to move where the stepper motor sits. Wait, maybe I don't need to redesign it. Maybe I just flip it. Wait, I think I can just flip it. Oh, okay, cool. Wait, yeah, I can literally just flip it. Okay, so I'll flip the stepper motor around, and that way I can put the I have, oh, it's so perfect the way it is though. I love how it looks with the stepper motor perfectly being in front of the rail and the belt. Oh well, sacrifices must be made, I suppose. I mean, I'd said I would make it look ugly, and unfortunately it's not ugly. Dang it, dude. Oh gosh, dang it. I mean, it just looks great. I don't know, what am I to do, chat? I'm puzzled. I mean, obviously I should just make it look ugly and flip it over, but I don't know. I really don't want. Let's see. Better solution, maybe? Maybe let's see. Maybe I, yeah, because see here, look, the stepper motor goes right here. And then it like fits perfectly with this, and it just makes like a rectangle, and so perfect. And then of course it sits on top of a rectangle, so there's a rectangle underneath that, which goes into a rectangle, and it just like looks mwah, beautiful. So maybe I have to make some sacrifices to achieve card sorting robot. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's definitely. Oh yeah, no. Stop rotating it, please. No. I want to see. Why did it? Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, the center of the circle lines up with where the stepper motor is. Because I was saying, well, maybe I could just maybe I was just flawed in my real life test, but no, it's just flawed everywhere. It is cool, I guess. Cool, sure. So what if I I have another option of moving the bins backwards a little bit, but I don't want to do that because then I have to print the bin holder, and that is like 400 grams of material. Alright, what if we just made short bins? Let's just make short bins, whatever. We're gonna have our bins be 80 tall. I mean, a stack of 80 tall is still a lot of cards. So I think 80 tall is fine. Like, I mean, even if it had to be 60, I think that's still fine. Okay, we're gonna go with 80 tall. Whatever. 80 tall bins. So we need the actual distance between this and this. 73 0.508 millimeters, obviously. That's the number you expect. 73.508. Yeah. Yeah, 73.508. So we want to make a grabber 73.508 millimeters tall. How tall is our old grabber? Let me see. Let me disconnect that. Put the rubber band in. And then we put this like that, and then I mash it. Then I complain about it being bad. Measure that being 1.5. Looks like I am right. And it is 80 tall. So we need to cut about 5 centimeters off of this. But remember, we don't really have a reason to cut from this because it's the same as the actual height of our suction cup. So we don't actually cut more. We are just gonna have to make the mechanism to like do the thingy even smaller. So 73, we need 80. So that means we have, I don't know, what is that number? How do you do, hey chat, can we do 10 minus 3.5? That's 6.5. Yeah. 6.5 extra millimeters of space, and then if I subtract, that means I'll have like what, 13.5 left. Okay, that's not too bad, I guess. 13.5. Okay. Go here. All right. We are gonna make a new sketch here. We're gonna get a circle. Yeah, I'm gonna get some constrained lines. Circle here, 40 millimeters. Does it need to be 40? I've done 40 because that's what I did in the past. But I'm wondering if it's slightly too big. The suction cup is 30, and so I figured the 40 is a good like middle ground. So maybe we just do 40. I think we do 40. 40 there. Then we click the finish sketch button. Extrude these to cut. Wow, bye-bye. And then we need to do our walls. Now, I'm wondering if the way that I was doing the walls before is flawed. Very well can be. Very well might be. And that's because that's because they might have more friction. You know, chat, I don't know if I am up to streaming today. I think I'm really kind of like out of it. Work has been quite a lot. Oh, these kids. Yeah, you don't get it. These kids, they're like, oh gosh, these kids. So like they're from like, they're kindergartners, right? But then there's some younger than kindergartners. And so it just gets so chaotic, you know? It's like they can pay attention for maybe 2 minutes at max, and then like they'll go and run off and do whatever. And I am nowhere near prepared enough to manage a classroom of around 13 to 14 kindergartners as a 20-year-old college computer science student. Like, that's a completely unrelated field to, you know, teaching or humanities or anything of the sort. And so I'm just completely unprepared for this. So I go in the first day and they're like, hey, welcome to the school. This is, these are the kids. Good luck. I'm like, okay. Okay. There's no like class guidelines. There's no like class rules. There's no like points system. There's no like, you know, transition music or whatever. There's just, okay, here, good luck. And so it's like, okay, great. Now I have to go and do all that research myself too. I have to go and figure out, okay, how do you manage a bunch of kindergartners who don't even speak English while not being able to speak Chinese, and it's like, yeah, you know, okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I'm kind of like just tired, straight up, just I am tired. So thank you for watching. I hope this wasn't too miserable. Hope you enjoyed what you could from the stream. We accomplished pretty much nothing, but hopefully I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later. I'm kidding. I'm not Daily Dose of Internet. Alright, but actually, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go Control-Shift-N. Bye. We're gonna do a 3D exclamation mark. Alright guys, bye-bye. I'll see you all later. I mean, maybe tomorrow, maybe, no, definitely not Saturday. No. Saturday I'm running a Smash tournament. Maybe Sunday. Sunday is probably the best day. But anyway, I will see y'all later. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.